Hello and welcome back to my channel, and thanks for rejoining me with my 4 Against Darkness solo campaign. Our brave adventurers had entered a corridor. They had startled a group of 9 skeletal rats. I don't think we've come across anything of that ilk before. These skeletal rats are classified as a vermin. They're in a rather creepy corridor. I call it corridor 14. We're not really doing too well on the on the clocking up of credible monsters that allow us to have an experience roll. We've got the zombies that qualify. We had this individual zombie that qualified. These swarmlings don't. We've had the weird monster individually anyhow, and these goblin swarmings don't count either. So we're not really doing great. So I've got 9 skeletal rats. So if I just do another matrix, so that I can count down, and I think they are similar to goblins, goblin swarmlings. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, yeah, I think on the actual statistics in the back of the book, if I just look at the vermin table, 2d6 skeletal rats, level 3 undead. So the only thing with the undead is that crushing weapons attacks are at +1 against them, so that's quite good. They cannot be attacked by bows and slings. So because we are in a corridor, that means that we can't use our elf and her bow, which is a bit of a downer. So that's a shame. And remember, we've only got 2 against 2. So there is a limit to the number of skeletal rats that can take us on. So, you know, that's maybe something to consider. But they do have a lot in, you know, so at least there's only going to be 2 rats that can attack us. But we are limited to 2 offensive individuals. So let us commence. We have we could also wait for a reaction, and a 1 to 2 they will flee, and a 3 to 6 they will fight. So are we willing to take the risk of having them? You know, there are a lot of them. Should we wait for the reaction? It's not a great chance. It's a 33% chance. It would get rid of them, and we'd classify that as a victory. Yeah, shall we push our luck? This means that they have 1 attack against us. Yeah, I think we're going to do that in this instance, because we really don't want to spend all our time fighting these creatures. So on a 1 to 2, the skeletal rats will scarper and bother us no more. So let's find out what we get. So yes, that has paid off. They all classify as a kill, but they do not accumulate for experience, which is a bit of a shame. But they flee. Obviously, they see us. They are quite startled. Maybe they fear that one of us is a cleric and could do all sorts of strange, terrible things to them, make them disintegrate. But yeah, they basically probably skedaddle up this passage out of sight. Okay, well, we will continue with our adventure, and because we are not retracing our steps anymore, we can continue down here. So let's get our adventure dice into play and find out what is beyond this corridor. On my matrix of whether I do anything, 1 means nothing. So I don't have any dungeon dressing or atmosphere. That's classified. And we have a 64 on our key. So 64 on this is, right, well, this is interesting. This is going to have to go this way because we have a connector of a tunnel. Sorry, not a tunnel, a corridor. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go down 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll do a little tick just so that we've got a differentiation there in case we have to retrace our steps. And we have a 30 foot by 20 foot room. And I do say, 30 foot by 20. It could be any size really, but I'm just going with the convention of D&D. And we've got rooms. Each square is effectively 10 feet in this. Maybe there are going to be bigger than that, but there are some rooms that are quite large. That one's enormous. So is that one. In fact, we've come across them before. So we're not going to have any dressing. There's not any doors that we have to determine. There will be the room occupant, and I'll classify this as room number 15. So we move down this corridor. Maybe we hear the scamperings of the rats disappear into the distance. Where have they lurked off to? With these skeletal rats, maybe they secrete themselves through holes in the wall, and they have moved back into those, and they have fled us. They are not going to bother us anymore, which is a good thing. So we've got one less thing to worry about down this dungeon, but we are going to roll on this flowchart. So let's see what is inside this. This will classify as a room. So 2d6. So we get a 3, and on a 3, oh dear. We roll a d6, the traps table. If survive, d6 treasure table. Oh dear. That is not very good. And the traps table is page 62. So we had a trap before, and luckily our analog ranger Taryn, who is now level 2, he managed to evade it. It was a trapdoor, but we are not so lucky this time. So 62. Let's roll on the traps table. It's going to be a 1d6. So I'm going to put trap 1d6. We'll get this out. Give that a re-roll. 1. So 1 is a dart level 2 attacks a random character. So we have to roll 2 or above, or else the character targeted by this attack must make a defense roll or lose 1 life. All right, so we have to get above 2 on our defense. And I don't think we'll have any advantages. Although it does say a defense roll. I wonder if we are allowed to... All characters must make a defense roll, ignoring bonus... right. I think we are allowed to include our bonuses, because it doesn't... Whereas in this one, the poison gas one, it says ignoring the bonus. Yeah. So I think we're allowed to just make our standard defense. So if we're heavily armored, yeah. And also because we've moved in as a group, I think it's just going to be against, we'll roll randomly to see who it affects. So it is a dart trap. It's a level 2 dart trap. So it's like a level 2 monster. It's a dart trap, level 2. Which character is it going to affect? So have I got my D4 handy? Yes, I have. So we'll just do it in marching order and find out which one we're going to affect. So it is Taryn first. And Taryn has got, he's got light armor and a shield. So anything but a 1 we're looking for, really, because he's going to be able to add 2 onto this. Yes, he's fine. So the dart maybe zips out of the side. It goes, maybe sticks in his shield. It goes bada bada bada. That kind of noise it makes when it goes into wood. He goes, whoa, that is a lucky escape. There's nothing else in this room, you know, just a trap. Seems a bit of a waste, but at least I have evaded that. That's all down to my level 2 experience. Obviously, I'm getting a bit au fait with this dungeon. I'm getting to grips with it. So we're going to go through this door. And what we'll do is we'll find out what the door is first. We'll do this on my little chart. So the door is number 2. Put a little number 2 here. And a door of 2 variety is an iron banded door. Thick wooden planks reinforced with rusted iron straps. Dents and scratches suggest something tried to get out rather than in. Yes. So maybe it's got something to do with these skeletal rats. I can't imagine them being door users. I think they're probably more up there. They're little skeletal tunnels. But yeah, there's maybe something larger and a bit more predatory than skeletal rats. Okay, well, we can get into full adventure mode, get the 3 dice in action. Let's see what we're going to get. So we've got 63 and we've got 3, which on my table means dungeon dressing. So let's find out what the room is first that we're going to be dealing with. And it sounds like a room because it's 63. Nice high number. So on my flow chart, I've got 63, which is, all right, okay, so it is a corridor again. So we're going to go down 4, or is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, it almost joins. Am I tempted just to make that join? I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to make that join. So, yeah, I think that's just so close. It should join. Do an executive override. Or should I maybe ask an oracle? I think there's unless I get a 1 or a 2, I'm going to make it join. Let's see. Let's put it to the test. So yes, I've made it join. I've convinced myself I want it to join. So that is what happens. So I'm going to have a little tick, tick, tick there. And we're going to have doors here on either side, halfway down. Okay, we've got some dressing that we have to do. And corridor dressing on my table is going to be... We haven't really had any dungeon dialogue for a while, so I might just throw something in, you know, because it doesn't have to be instigated by a die roll every time. So we've got dungeon dressing corridor. Let's do a 1d6 and see what we get. 5. So on the corridor, we've got, all right, we've got crumbled inscriptions. Faded carvings line the walls, half-erased names, forgotten prayers and broken runes. When touched, the dust smears like old ash. Well, I think we had something very similar to that. In fact, we did. we had it here. So this is a continuation of a theme. So that is going to be 16. Corridor 16. We've got the crumbled inscriptions on the wall. So this is all building up this picture of this crypt, and it's a kind of unified theme that I'm getting from all this dressing, which is quite nice. So that's 5D. Are we going to have anything in it? That is the important thing that we need to determine now. So I need to get my flow chart together. And we've got to do a 2d6. So we get a 7. Oh dear. So it is a corridor. We roll a d6 on the minions table. So let us roll a d6 on the minions table. See what we get. We've got, maybe they've come back. The skeletal rats have decided to come back. They've maybe got their courage back. We're going to have... oh, this... No, sorry. It's the minions table. It's not vermin. Ah, right. So, yes. Fungi folk. What are they? What are they all about? Level 3, treasure normal. Any character taking damage from the fungi folk must save versus level 3 poison or lose 1 life. Halflings add their level to the save. Reactions D6, 1 to 2 ask for bribe, which is D6 per fungus, or 3 to 6 fight. Okay, I don't really like the odds in that. Let's find out how many we've got. They sound a bit nasty. We're making them in a corridor so they can fight with us with a maximum of 2. So, and they're not a wandering monster. So there's only 2 of them. Yeah, I think we should just take them on, and we get them as we've got fungi folk, and there's 2 of them. That was quite good. 2 boxes. They are level 3. Treasure is normal. So we get to roll on the treasure table. Yes. Let us take them on. We'll get Taran into action. He'll get his broadsword out and start swinging it around. Let's have a look at his little stats. I think he's he's level 2 when it comes to yeah, he's level 2. What I've also done as well is I've changed the hit criteria. I've just made these oh no, I haven't. I thought I had changed these around. I was going to change them around to the level that we were going to have. I thought I did that. Well, obviously I have not done that. I must have been dreaming about it, doing it. Okay, let's just scrub that last thing. We'll roll a d6 for his attack and add 2 to it. So let's see how many he gets. That's an automatic miss. That's not very good. Okay, so we're relying on Flint, and he has a warhammer which is +1, and he gets a +1 for his level, so he adds 2 to this dice roll. So 2 + 3 is 5, so that classifies as 1 killed, because we have to lose 2, they can't carry forward. So that means that 1 fungi folk fights back, and he'll fight against the first in our marching order. Or should we do it based on, if we are both in the front row, maybe, yes, I think maybe the marching order does not really count as significantly in this instance, and we should just do it maybe equally. So we'll say 1 to 4 it is Taran, because he is number 1 in the marching order. So maybe he stands a bit further forward, and 5 to 6 it will be Flint. So it is Taran, and Taran as a defense has light armor and a shield, so he adds 2 onto his die roll. So 2 onto this. 2 + 2 is 4, so that's more than 3. He manages to defend himself. Okay, so we're into our next round, and we'll have Taran, and he adds 2 onto this. Yes, and he gets a mighty yelp. So that is 8. 8 + 4. He does 12 points of damage. Easily, a mere smudge is left. An oily smudge is left on the floor of the corridor, and we get a chance to see what heroic slaying moments we get to witness from Taran. Let's see what he does. He does a whirlwind of steel. The hero spins through the melee in a blur of motion, blades flashing, helms cracking, foes falling like wheat before the scythe. The survivors stumble back in disbelief. Well, they don't, because they're all slain. He really is this whirlwind of steel. Well done, Taran. I think that also calls for a bit of dungeon dialogue. Let's just do it just for a bit of colour. We haven't really had it for a while. So we get a 16. And a 16 on my chart is... Oh, here we go. This is Flint. A practical warning. A dwarf nose never lies. There's damp rot ahead and maybe worse. Okay. Well, yes, I suppose maybe this fungi folk were giving off this really quite horrendous smell of, you know, rotting vegetable matter or whatever. They are now slain. They are now just mere marks on the floor. After this heroic moment from Taryn, we get a chance to roll on the treasure. So let's get our treasure table deployed and see what we're going to get as a result. So 1d6 on that. And that is a 2. So 2d6 gold pieces. So 2d6. And one thing that I haven't been doing is that the dwarf has ability to smell treasure. So before we even have a combat, we have a chance of him being able to smell out what the treasure is, and we can determine the treasure first. But we've got 9 gold pieces. So 9 GPs, fungi folk. And we'll give that to Flint to carry. Dwarves like to get gold as well. There is another. I think there is another rule in here that says they've got some very specific things. They can smell gold and jewels. When you meet a monster, if you have a dwarf in the party, roll a die and add the dwarf's level. If the total is 6 or better, you may determine the monster's treasure before deciding to attack the monster. So that could be of use. Dwarves are extremely attached to their gold. A party with 2 or more dwarves may not bribe monsters. When you find treasure, that can be split, such as coins. You must always assign at least 1 coin to every dwarf. It's a bit of a complication, but it just shows you what their avaricious nature is all about, and how that can sometimes interfere with the party dynamic and just some of your basic logistics. Okay, that's done. So now we're up to what we got. We've got 1 here, 2 here. That doesn't count. That's already been accounted for. That doesn't count, and that doesn't count. We're up to 3. We've only got up to 3 on the number of monsters slain. You know, we really progressed quite a bit through this dungeon, and we're still not really, you know, got anywhere. I would say that this, maybe we should go back and activate this if possible, but maybe let us try one of these doors. We'll do this one on this side. Well, we'll do this on this side on a 1 to 4, and a 5 to 6 will go this way, because we recognize that this is joined back up with our entrance. So this is a good way, maybe if we want to get out quick, but let's see if we can go through this door first. So yes, we are going to go through that door. And what type of door is it? It is a 4-door, and a 4-door is a reinforced door with lock. A solid door fitted with a corroded lock and keyhole. The handle is cold to the touch, and faint scrape marks show it's been forced before. So this is quite often. We're having 2s and 4s a lot for these doors. And what is beyond the door? Let's get our adventure dice roll. We get a 2, so that's going to be dressing, and we get a 53 for the room, and a 53 is, according to our chart, 53 is, okay, it's going to be a corridor, so we've got a connecting door there. It's going to have to go this way. 53. I've just lost sight of it. It has to go this way. So it is a corridor. Okay, and we have a dressing roll for the corridor of 1, and a 1 on our corridor dressing is... Okay. Rows of wall niches. Each niche holds ancient skulls stacked like trophies, their hollow eyes staring down as you pass. Dust thickens near the floor. Well, this is really quite quite a terrifying corridor to be progressing down. You know, it's got these niches along the wall, and each one holds a skull. That is not very nice. So 1D is for the dressing. Is it occupied? Does it have anything inside? Here's a corridor, so let's do 2d6 on our flowchart. We get a 9 this time, and a 9 is empty. Can search. Yeah, are we going to risk it? Empty, can search. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll maybe just put that on hold just now. Hold that thought, and we will continue. We could always come back and search that. But the trouble with searching corridors is that you get a -1 to the roll. You have a much greater chance of finding a wandering monster, and we don't really want to come across them because they don't really generate very much in terms of... although I suppose we could run into a boss or whatever. But I think what we really would like to do is to try and strike gold and try to find a room with, let's say, a fountain of healing or something like that. That would be much better. Are we going to go to the right, or are we going to go straight ahead? So 1 to 3 is going to be the right. We go straight ahead. So let's roll the dice, see what we're going to do. So we've got 34, and that classifies as, according to my chart, is dungeon dressing. So 34 straight ahead is oh dear, so there's no way we're going to be able to fit this in, and it doesn't have so we must come up against the door. So there is a door here, so let's do the door first, and we'll do as much of this as we can, and basically it's just going to go into this wall. So it's almost like it doesn't even classify as a room. I don't think it's big enough, because that's almost like a 10-foot wide at its largest. Yeah, I think that classifies as, although would it? Because it is, that's almost 20 feet across. I think that still classifies as a corridor. Let's maybe just put it to an oracle. So we'll say 1 to 3, it classifies as a corridor. No, it's going to classify as a room. So we've got number 18, and this is a room. So we've got some dressing for the room. Let's find out what the dressing is. We get a 6 this time. So dungeon dressing, room 6 on my chart. Okay. Unlit braziers and funeral offerings. 2 stone braziers flank a central altar. The ashes within are cold, but a faint trace of incense lingers. A cracked goblet of silver lies overturned nearby. Oh my goodness, this has really got quite a lot going for it. This is a 6 with the dressing. It really has got quite, so it's got these braziers, funeral offerings, and my goodness, a cracked goblet of silver lies overturned nearby. Wonder if that's valuable or not. It's probably not really. Let us find out if there's anything in it. And let's see from the time, maybe we will just say that once I do this one, we are done for today. So we haven't really come across too much, but it's probably some quite interesting rooms and corridors. So what do we got? A 9, and it's going to be a room. So it's on this side. So empty. But we can search. So I think we should search. So empty as far as we're concerned, but it's still got this dressing. It's got these braziers. It's got the silver goblet. So we're finding all this type of thing as we are searching it. But we are also going to carry out a rigorous search for other things. So we'll do a D6 and see what we get if we give it a good search. A 6, way. So we are in business. A think on a search, if we search it, we go onto page 56, and we get a choice, I think, on this. So, searching room, 5 to 6, you choose, you find a clue, secret door, or hidden treasure. Right, should we find a secret door? Draw a door on one side of the current room or corridor and roll another random room that connects with it. You may spy into in the room and determine its contents before stepping into it. I think we'll go with that. Yeah, because we might just find that it's just occupied by treasure. Let's do that. So we're going to have a secret door. So we're going to have the secret door on this side or this side. 1 to 3, it's on the north. So no, it's a secret door here. So we peer through this secret door. Let's find out what is on the other side. 22. And a 22 is right. Okay. So this is quite significant. So let's say that it's going to be this door here. So we're going to have this coming out. Let's say that that comes here. So this is going to come out 1, and then down here 3, and in, and the corridor goes, and we miss out on that door. So we have a room that has just got a corridor as an exit. So we can determine what is inside that room, and we can also determine whether it's going to have anything of significance. Let's do that first. So we've got a bit of dressing. So let's roll on our dressing table. We get, oh right, so it's got more unlit braziers. I think what we'll do something different. We can't have the braziers again. Hanging cobwebs and cold air. Sheets of web hang thick as curtains. The air grows sharply cold. Breath clouds in the lamplight as unseen water drips steadily from above. Well, yes. So this is going to be room 19. We've got dressing 3D. Let's find out what's in it. So we're peering through this secret door. Let's find out if there's anything of tantalizing nature apart from all that juicy information about the dressing. Is there anything else? So we see a 9. It's empty. Oh dear. So are we going to search it again? 19, empty. There's a lot of empty stuff going on here. I think what we'll do is we'll move in here. We've got all these clinging cobwebs. It's not really a very pleasant room, but we decide, right, I think what we're going to do is try and do another search and see whether we can come up lucky this time. You know, maybe a bit of a waste of a secret door, that, but hey, we get a 3. And a 3 means, I think that means nothing on our, was it 56? 56, yeah, room is empty. So it's empty, empty, empty. So we'll put a little S, it's been searched. That is done. Okay, right, I think what we're going to do is maybe just have a bit of a rain check on the searching. We're not going to leave on a cliffhanger this time. We're really just going to have a bit of a thought. Maybe we just do a bit of a roundup of where we are just now. We've got 3 on the experience rolls for the monsters. We've got a lot of this complex explored, but it looks as though we're maybe going to have to retrace our steps in this. You know, if we're going to run out of some room here, unless we get a sharp turn on this corridor and maybe brings us into some rooms here. I think what we'll do as a strategy is to head back and go through this door in priority. If this draws nothing, we will ultimately go back to the statue room and activate the statue, fight the statue, maybe get a level up if we can defeat this statue, and get some treasure potentially. I think that'll be our plan for the next session. And also we might even be able to determine whether we get this Sword of Avalon that we can take back to the Lady in White in room 3, which is just next door. So that would be a good thing, and I think we would probably say, well, that's enough of this Crypt of Lost Souls. Maybe we haven't been quite as successful as we planned to. I'm sure a lot of these adventures, these War Against Darkness ones, they end with kind of almost like a kind of a score draw with the characters. You don't really get too far. Maybe I haven't played enough of this or seen it enough on YouTube to gauge how successful I am being just now. I just know that one of my characters has actually leveled up. We do have some treasure that we can take out and convert into things, and we're not all dead yet, which is a good snap. And apart from Flint, the rest of the characters have the integrity of their lives left, so maybe that's something to savor. Okay, right. I will adjourn until the next episode. I hope you would want to rejoin me and see what further secrets the Crypt of Lost Souls reveal in the next episode. Thanks for watching.